So 6:30.
That's it?
Let's make it happen.
All right, meeting called to order. Pledge of allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, welcome. What's happening, Ben?
So we'll start with department head updates. We have 4 department heads here today. Tim Billadu, Water and Sewer, if you want to go first.
Sure. We actually did our radio read for the first time. Actually, we did it twice in a couple days. We had a little hiccup, but basically it took us, let's just say 4 hours to read all the water meters in town, where it used to take us basically 6 days. So that's been actually a huge advantage there. So that part is good. We're going to be, I always say, putting the town to bed for winter here shortly. We're going to be shutting fountains all throughout town probably this week. I usually wait till after Columbus Day, but I think I'm going to do it this week because the fountains keep plugging up with leaves. And hopefully before the next selectmen's meeting, we're going to clean the intake out. Again, that's another thing we do before winter. And then we'll also be flushing fire hydrants probably throughout the month of October, maybe towards the end. And then the manhole people are in town as we speak, and they're going to get back going on the manhole rehabilitation work that we started earlier this summer. We're going to start on it tomorrow, hopefully. They said they're not going to leave until we have all the manholes that we allocated money for done. So that's it.
Thanks, Tim. Tim Brown?
Pretty much pretty well wrapped up on Bunker Hill. We've been doing a little work with the water sewer department. We're trucking the winter sand this week, and Mike is supposed to be here this week also. And that's pretty much where we're at.
Thank you. Then we have Robin Irving, the new land use coordinator. Been here 2 whole weeks.
So I attended the zoning board meeting, been rearranging the office. I've had 3 new residential building permits, 1 new commercial building permit, and I'm getting the package ready for the planning board meeting. And Ben handed off something about it'll be a minor site plan review for the VFW, and I'm expediting that. I called somebody to get a new sketch so that we could get that rolling.
And then we have Brian Patno, transfer station.
I guess the big thing for us is the NHMA did appoint me to the solid waste working group. So
I'm sorry.
hopefully it won't be getting too political. A lot of members on it, so that's the only thing that scares me. The first meeting is supposed to be before November 1st, so we'll see how that goes. Once again, if it starts getting to the point where I think it's not going to be beneficial and nothing's going to happen, I'll get off. It isn't a waste of time. But hopefully we can come up with some good ideas to help for the future. So, a couple weeks ago, I did co-host the first in-person workshop for DES in something like 553 days. Right before they're going all remote again, but it was nice to see everybody down at DES and stuff like that. Had, I think, all together 12 to 15 people. It was on full cost accounting. That was real interesting. And there has been enough feedback where I think we'll be doing another class next year.
Excuse me.
Thanks, Brian.
And this Friday, we're actually hosting a mock inspection for DES for another workshop for the North Country to try to get their hours in. So, but besides that, everything else is going pretty good. We should know this week if our auger is going to be repairable or not. If it is, we'll just remove the can, put an open top there until springtime to see if the motors will go for another one. The average one lasts 10 years and it's been like 11 years. So it's put some stuff through it, that's for sure. And the only other thing is Mount Carberry, their landfill, they are going for an expansion. We'll see how that goes. The public hearing is October 27th at 6 p.m. If approved, that will keep them open until at least 2041. If it is denied, it'll close, I think, 2025, 2026. I don't see any real issues with them not approving it. That's it.
Thanks, Brian.
That's good. You forgot a guy, a good-looking guy across from you. Highway?
No, you already spoke.
Oh, we already did, he was quick.
Yeah.
Anyone that hasn't spoke?
No.
That's it? Good.
Move on to the next.
Okay. You have two sets of minutes from the last meeting, September 20th, the regular minutes and the non-public session minutes.
Has the board
Yep.
read that?
Yes.
Entertain a motion?
I make a motion to accept them. Do we have to accept
Except,
one of them at a time?
let's accept the public and then the
Okay,
non-public.
accept the public.
Just to be clear.
Yep.
Do I
I'll
have a
second it.
Got a motion and a second to accept the minutes from the last public selectmen's meeting. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The entertain a motion to accept the minutes from the non-public session.
I make a motion to accept non-public session minutes. I'll second the motion.
Got a motion and a second to accept the minutes from the non-public session. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Guess the ayes have it.
The department has a free to leave.
Good night.
I have a question about that first,
Don't look at me.
Liam.
Quick, yes.
Yeah, unless I'm mistaken, you guys voted to release the results of the non-public session of the last meeting, but we never heard from you. Can you explain that to me?
It was, what it was the vote, the motion and the vote was to release it upon the approval of the minutes, which just happened.
Oh, okay.
So as soon
So
as-
that will be
So that
coming.
should be forthcoming.
Yes.
Yeah,
All right,
basically
thank
it'll be
you.
free.
All right. Thank you.
Well, no. Yeah, so it'll be,
Okay, all right, thank you.
let the ink dry.
What's that?
Let the ink dry.
No?
Thank you, guys. Okay, paperwork to sign. The abatement from last, that was approved last meeting for Diamond Properties, the 39 Portland Street, the water and sewer. That paperwork is there. That was previously approved, and Taproot Farm, you previously approved them as an exempt property, so they have an abatement due to that.
We have to do a formal.
No, you guys approved it. You
Approved
just
it.
have to sign it, sign the
Wanna make
paperwork.
sure.
Yeah. You have two intents to cuts, Charity?
One report, well, one is a report of cut.
Oh, report of cut, thank you,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
For
Yeah.
two people, yeah.
Yeah, report of cut for Tara Landry, the first one, and then Dave Jokey was the second one, both properties on Elm Street. There's tabs identifying where you guys need to sign, two places, please.
Got it on.
Yeah.
Oh, it's coming. I'm gonna look at what you just put in there.
All right. Guys set?
You guys missed one.
Oh, we did?
Tisk.
He said two spots.
That was my fault. I
He told us
apologize.
two, so we did two.
Follow the tabs. Follow the bouncing ball.
Okay.
He did say two, didn't he?
I did
He
say
did.
two. Hey, you can't trust the town manager.
We signed two. Yeah, those
Just creating some suspense for the at-home viewers.
Yeah. You just wanted to see if we'd notice, that's all.
Thank you for noticing.
All right, I think I got it.
Moving on. A couple updates on some grants that were previously reported. The art mural grant, to help fund a project at the Lancaster Motor Inn to create a mural on the wall facing the municipal parking lot. We did get approval for $4,500 for that. So that project will continue to move forward in development for probably, mainly for the springtime, obviously. So there will be at another meeting, for both of these, at another meeting, there will be an opportunity. You guys are gonna have to accept that money and then authorize people to sign for it. But we got notified of the awards, not in enough time to notice the meetings and stuff. So probably next meeting we'll be able to do that. And then we got notification that, and this was in the paper, the Land Water Conservation Fund grant to help fund the Coloneltown Playground project. That was awarded to us for $180,000. And that goes along with the CDFA tax credits to fund that project to do some playground equipment improvement as well as some other work around the Coloneltown Park on Summer Street. New business. Coming from the Conservation Commission, there is some interest in kind of reorganizing the Heritage Trail Committee. There's a couple that, actually one of the individuals recently, Sam Main, you appointed him to the Conservation Commission, him and his wife, Abby, who's a teacher at the high school, are interested in doing some work on a Heritage Trail and basically reorganizing the committee to try to attract more people and support and helpers. How we left it at the last committee meeting, and Rachel Stewart, the chairman of the committee, will correct me if I'm wrong. They have no problem doing it, so we should. How we left it is, I know we had a Heritage Trail Committee. I don't know how it was formed. I don't know who it was under. They do have the opportunity to act as a subcommittee of the Conservation Commission. I don't know if that was how it was organized before, but I'm going to try to do some research. Maybe, Lucy, at some point I'll probably reach out to you because I know you were involved with them as well back years ago. I don't want to recreate something that is already established. So if there is already some sort of a functioning organization, they just have to go back into and run it, then we can do that.
That was quite a few years ago.
It was, yeah. So I just wanted to give you guys the update on that there is some desire and motivation for that to reorganize, to do some trail work, to do some outreach to the property owners where that trail did go through, make sure the property owners are still interested. Some of those properties probably changed hands in the time since there was any last correspondence, so.
I know the Whitefield Committee worked with the Scouts.
Yes.
And actually had a work on his Eagle
Scout,
project.
Oh,
Yep.
Remarking the trail and working on the trail, so that might be an avenue.
Yeah, so, I think that was that pretty accurate, Rachel?
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add?
I mean, I think the committee is very interested in supporting that work. They want to coordinate with, other efforts, people that have worked on it in the past. I think Ben was good in just making sure we didn't get out ahead of the select board. And so if we have your sort of endorsement, I guess, that would be good.
I could share with them the proposal
Yeah,
Would that be fine to share that, so the other selectmen can have it? I have a proposal.
Oh, oh, yeah, yeah.
You guys can look at that, so.
Yeah.
thank you, Troy.
So it's safe to say that you guys are supportive of the Heritage Trail Committee getting, reorganizing and getting some work on reestablishing that?
I think it could be beneficial, and like I said, the surrounding towns seem to be still
Yeah.
working on it, so if we could improve our trail.
Good.
And I think they were especially interested in starting with the connection between like Route 2 and Reed Road
Reed
to
Road.
Prospect, so that it's just easy to get to. Anybody in town can walk there, and I think that was their first.
It's on that paper. When you guys look at that stuff, that was the purpose of starting this back up. Yeah.
Thank you.
Any questions on that? All right.
Thanks, Ben.
No, thank you, Rachel. Thanks for coming. Next on the agenda, new business, Inner Lakes Properties Abatement Request. These are the other two properties of Rogers Campground that they had taken these motorhomes or trailers for back lot rent. They foreclosed on them basically, and they have since
They're actually in the parks now. He's attempting to fix them up and for resale, I guess.
Okay, yeah, so he's working on, he hasn't sold them yet, he's looking at fixing them up to sell them, so then they would be back on the tax rolls, and they will be on the tax rolls now that he has ownership of them, but he didn't want to be obligated to the back taxes that are currently there. There are two. One was previously in the name of Daniel Blakey.
Yep.
Total amount due $3,908.37, and that goes back 10 years. And then we have a Michael Fennel, $3,645, and that goes back to 2012. So Crosby Peck of Inner Lakes, Rogers Campground Inner Lakes Properties is seeking, or is requesting abatement of those taxes.
And I can confirm that they have processed deeds for those properties.
Into Interlake's names,
Yes.
yeah.
Entertain a motion to abate the past taxes.
Make a motion to abate the back taxes.
We've got a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
We've got a second, do we have any discussion? Just so the public knows, we don't like to abate past taxes, but considering these are park model campers whose owners have abandoned them, we're not gonna collect the back taxes. So in order to get them back on the tax rolls, we'll abate the back taxes and hopefully they'll have some more responsible owners come in. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Another thing on new business, I forgot to add to the agenda, but I did reach out to you guys individually and tell you when I was made aware of it. So a couple weeks ago, when we were doing some work to construct the sidewalk along the Parker J. Noyes building, part of that project was to relocate a catch basin behind the building in our municipal parking lot. And when our highway foreman, Tim Brown, was digging, he found a underground fuel tank that must have been there since Roberts Motor Sales previously was there back, I think, before I was born. You probably remember.
Sometime in the 60s.
Yeah.
Burned in the big flyer. Burned in the 50s.
30s, even maybe that.
No, Roberts burned in the 50s.
Right.
So they found the tank. Immediately, Tim called me, made a great morning, went down, checked it out, called DES and notified them. They said that, certainly you're gonna need to remove it. I did reach out to Shane because Shane is a recommended and certified contractor that deals in hazmat for DES. So reached out to him to get moving on that so we could get that taken out as soon as possible, because obviously we want to minimize as much contamination if there is any, and we also have that project to complete before we get snow. So We've been going through the process with DES. They've been great about it because I know nothing about it. And Shane's been a great help. And last I heard from Shane, and he can clarify too, is Wednesday morning that should be removed. It does have some material in it, watering and gas, that's gonna need to be pumped out. Then they'll have to excavate, remove the tank, and assess for contamination.
I'm surprised there's still gas in there, but they probably built better tanks back then.
Luckily, the good news is when, Tim is an excellent operator. He didn't puncture it, he didn't even hit it. When he dug just right next to it and just revealed one of the ends of it. So, and they noticed it, did a little investigating, found out what it was, and we're moving on from there. So I just want to make sure you guys are updated on it, and obviously in the public as well. So that'll be moving forward. Hopefully by the end of the week, that'll be taken care of, and we'll see what happens from there. There'll be further updates after.
Okay.
Is there extensive soil testing around it when they do that?
They will. Yeah, DES is going to be up there to observe when they're there.
Can't imagine there isn't.
Yeah.
Just wondering, yeah.
Yeah. I did.
Back when gas was good.
Yeah, the good stuff.
My first question was whose land is it on, and it is on town's land. It's probably about that far away from our pin, so I didn't buy a lottery ticket that day, I can tell you that much.
Whose land is it on?
It's on the parking, it's on the town's land. It's in our parking lot. Yeah. All right, we've got a couple of letters from DES concerning Portland Pipeline and their amended standard dredge and fill wetlands permit. They did request an amended permit because they were going to impact a little bit more of the bank. I believe for when they were going to riprap or lay some fabric on the banks, and that was approved. So that was in your packets. And then, as Robin had mentioned, she had done a few building permits, and I was catching up on some of the past ones I had had. So there are quite a few in your packets. We have a Catherine Bishop at 79 Lost Nation Road, who is replacing an addition, a 19 by 28 addition. Place in kind 19 by 28 stick-built one-story garage over crawl space with 2 storage areas. Meets all setbacks, no conditions. Alex Kopp is building a 12 by 16 tool shed on a gravel pad. He lives at 553 North Road. Weeks Medical Center is adding on, bumping out the hospital building, not the new the clinic, but the hospital building to provide a standalone MRI machine and associated offices, so there won't be the MRI on the tractor trailer
So
anymore.
they won't bring the tractor trailer in.
Exactly, so that'll be a benefit to the community having that MRI machine here all the time. Riverside Camping and RV down on Bridge Street is constructing a clear span storage structure to store their equipment that they use to maintain the property. 7 Stone Street is renovating. That's an apartment building on Stone Street, at 7 Stone Street, coincidentally. 3-family building. They're doing some extensive renovations to upgrade the electrical, plumbing, flooring, cosmetic improvements. That building has laid vacant. Yeah, laid vacant for many years, so it has a lot of work to be done. Andy and Sue Buto, now that they have their home on Elm Street, now that they have their home sided, they're putting back on their front porch that they had removed to get the siding done. Murray and Rona Glines are constructing a pole barn, 5 McGarry Hill Road. They just recently had a modular home placed there, and they're putting in a pole barn to store all their household stuff. Dan Vondell on Wesson Road this is a renewal of a permit from last year that he didn't completely finish. So it's to construct a post and beam sided structure, like a camp structure, on property basically at the corner of Wesson Road and Mount Prospect Road. And then we have Derek Stover on Garland Road is constructing and having placed a modular home 3-bedroom, 2-bath ranch modular home on full foundation on Garland Road. And that is that. Yeah.
Anything else?
I am good.
You're good? Anything from the board?
Nothing.
You're all set? We will take public comments. Any public comments?
What was the conclusion of the private session from last meeting?
Those
Did we
will-
just approve the meeting?
Well, those will be released shortly.
I can have a copy for you, Joe.
Okay. No, I thought they were gonna be discussed tonight.
No, what it was once those minutes were approved, then the opinion of the attorney would be released, and the minutes would be released as well. That's what it was, so.
Yep.
So
So
it's
you-
released now?
Well,
We don't
No, probably
discuss it?
tomorrow, because you gotta give them a little bit of time to
Oh,
yeah,
gather it. A little
I
bit.
gotta make copies, or if you want copies.
I think you were just asking what was the conclusion and what happened, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So basically, the conclusion was the attorney offered his opinion of some of the statements that the Allens made based on their deed, and it'd be easier if you read it, but some of those statements were, the attorney had a contradictory opinion of it. I'll let you read it, so I don't have, because there's some legal verbiage in there that, 5-letter words that are just beyond me.
Estimate of what time tomorrow we can have copies ready?
I'll make some copies tonight, and you can, yeah, as soon as the door's unlocked.
But we know what it was about at
Yeah.
this point.
Yeah.
And it just remains to be seen what the decision, so what follows from this decision that was made, or the select board's, something, was a decision made and then if there was one, what happens after that? Now that we know, I mean, we are learning what happened, what's going to happen?
Well, I think, I'll
Well,
let you
it's-
answer.
It's hard to predict what's gonna happen. We know what our attorney said. We know what our opinion was, which the attorney actually confirmed. And then it's gonna be up to the other party on whether anything transpires from
But they
there.
accept that and,
Correct. Yeah.
or decide to challenge it,
They did receive a copy.
right?
I will tell,
Oh,
yeah,
I'm sure.
yeah. So I did send them a copy of that.
So, they're not trying to be evasive, but tomorrow morning, the whole thing should be
Yeah.
clear on what's,
Well, right, and at that point, the question is about access to the
The lagoons.
land there that was taken by eminent domain. Is that the
well,
question?
actually, not accurate. Again, I would say, and encourage everyone to come in and get copies tomorrow morning. It was not eminent domain that the property was taken by. Everything is clear in the attorney's notes and
Okay,
our opinions.
all right.
And kind of, if I can just expand, your question about having access to the property, the public having access to the property, there's still the concern the select board has about the town's liability if the public goes into the lagoons, a wastewater lagoon facility, kind of an
So-
industrial facility.
Right,
So,
exactly.
so that's kind of still up in the air, but we wanted to at least get this part addressed before we started going that next step. So does that answer your question? So I mean, the
It does
opinion.
answer the question.
Okay.
But it seems to me, this is a segue. There was some issue on the Allen's part about people trespassing or viewing their house or whatever. And then I heard, and I don't know if it's true or not, maybe somebody here can corroborate, that there was a Northwoods Law episode in which what was it, a hawk, a little hawk, had been nesting on the house. And
Kessler.
Oh,
Kessler.
yeah, had been nesting on their house, and Lucas had returned the hawk, and that was shown on the page.
I
It
don't.
seemed like a really interesting addendum to this whole story. And if that was shown in public on TV, I mean, I wonder if the Allens had to have it permitted, or I don't know how that all works.
That's the first I've heard of that.
Yeah, I know nothing about that.
Nobody knows anything about it. Okay.
I don't watch that show.
Yeah,
But that wouldn't be part of
What's going on here?
what's going on with the town and the Allens.
No, it wouldn't necessarily, it's just a matter of, but I seem to remember that issue came up at the first meeting when Arlene was talking about the invasive nature of the people coming there, so it's just, I don't know if it's true, it's just wrong.
Yes?
Wouldn't be a meeting without me asking something about streaming. I wonder, is there a link on the town's website to the stream?
Yeah.
I'm not finding it, but I'm from the 20th century, that's
It's on
all
your-
right.
Just above the agendas in the minutes.
Okay, great. And
There's just a
so if
little
we go to Flume, can we see it on your site too?
Granite North Television.
Granite North, GNTV. Okay, good. Thanks.
Okay. And anything else? Seeing nothing, entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion. I'll second it.
A motion and a second to adjourn. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Thank you all for coming and putting your input in.